Hiya, folks. It's just a really quick video from me, just as your form tutor, to let you know what the situation is and how best to handle this time off we're going to have. So it's dead short. It's a little video. You can show it to your parents if you need to, and hopefully it's going to make your life a little bit easier whilst we're off. So firstly, what do I know? Well, obviously, it wasn't until Monday night in which we found out that you'd be off for 6 weeks, not two, but you are now off until February half term. It may extend further than that. We don't know at the minute. And it's been confirmed that every lesson you have over the next 6 weeks will have some form of Zoom input into it. So you do need to have Zoom downloaded onto your iPads, and you do need to get used to using that. Now, it's not very difficult. Basically, your teacher will send you a password and a meeting ID for each lesson, and you need to put that into Zoom. You go and join meeting, put the details in, and you should join automatically. And there will be a register taken in every single lesson. The Zooms will happen at the same time in which your lesson in school would happen. If you have a lesson on period 1 on a Wednesday at 8:40 on a Wednesday, you should be ready to Zoom, or at some point between 8:40 and 9:40. Now, if your teacher doesn't set a Zoom for whatever reason, that is fine. You should assume that you will have 5 Zooms a day for the next 6 weeks. They might not last the entire hour. They may only last 5, 10, 15 minutes whilst the teacher explains a task and then sets you off on it. You might have ones for an hour. It depends on the teacher. But you've got to be aware of this fact moving forward. So some tips I've got to help you deal with this in the best way you can. I've already been through a lockdown, but of course you're at primary school then and it was slightly different. My advice would be to stick to a routine as best as you can. That means getting up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, having lunch at a similar time, and making sure you have the same preparation routine in the mornings. That brings me on to being prepared. When you are doing a Zoom, as best as you can, you should be in a quiet location in your house as best as you can, and you should have a pen, a pencil, some paper, or your exercise book if you've got them, and you should have a ruler to underline anything, or titles or dates. If you've got highlighters, they would be useful. Further to this, I would recommend that you organise your notes very, very early, or you're going to get overwhelmed. When you do a lesson, write at the top what lesson it's for, or colour code it, and keep some form of folder or filing system to keep all your work in. This is because that when it comes to the end of lockdown and you come back in, the teachers are going to want you to bring your notes in to put into your exercise books. So if you're doing it in a notebook or you're doing it on paper, please organise your notes early doors, because it's going to become a big stress for you towards the end of lockdown, and we don't want that. Make sure you ask for help. This applies to when you're within a Zoom. Don't be afraid of raising your hand in the Zoom. There's a button you can press, or you can type in the chat. If you don't get something, ask a teacher within the Zoom. Don't sit quietly. And I'm going to show you how you can contact me outside of Zooms if you need help with other stuff. But make sure you don't struggle alone. Don't sit there at your desk all day worrying, struggling, falling behind. If you're not coping, or you're struggling to keep up with the work, or you're not getting something, please talk to somebody and don't sit there. We're not with you to see and judge how you're doing. We will mark your work, but it's very difficult for us to check that you're okay. So unless you say something, it's going to be difficult for us to find out. So please talk to a member of staff. So in terms of who to contact, I should be your first port of call as your form tutor. And if you have any concerns, I can then relay it to the specific teacher it relates to. The easiest and most guaranteed way of contacting me and me seeing it is by emailing me on jbaker@trentonacademy.co.uk. Now, you can do that from your school or email, or you can do that via your parents' email. I'm not really too fussed, but that will come straight through to my phone and I can respond immediately. And that's at any point of the day, any day of the week. I'll get back to you as soon as I see it. Don't worry about disturbing me or anything. That's not a problem. I'd rather you email me with your problem so I can fix it than you to suffer without actually telling anybody that you're struggling with something. If you don't want to email and your parents would like a phone conversation, they need to ring the school office. The number is on the website and it'll be passed on to me for me to get back to you as soon as I can. Obviously, if you want to email the teacher in question, which the issue relates to, then you can go and just email them directly or send them a message on Firefly. Emails are the best way to get a response. But if you want someone to sort it out for you, contact me and I'll take it in hand and I'll sort it. In terms of form time, there's going to be nothing on this week, but there might be something next week where we have a bit of a form Zoom just to check up and make sure you're all okay and handling everything as best as you can. So that's it from me. Largely, I just maintain, stick to a routine, ask for help, turn up to the Zooms and do your best. And it's not going to be perfect, but hopefully we can do as best as we can over these 6 weeks. And we can, hopefully, if we're back after 6 weeks, we can come back in and we can get cracking again. But I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're all well. Contact me if you need me. Stick to a routine and hopefully see you soon. See you later.